morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm LionHeartBlue, and welcome to another episode of my Scrap Mechanic survival series. We're going to do something different today, which I'm quite excited about, having spent so long on those timber mills and cutting down trees, etc. So today we're going to start working on the automatic farm. For me it's quite a complex thing. Ideally I'd want to explain every process to you to give you a little bit of insight on how you build things like this in the game. I don't think this particular structure or this particular idea is the best for that, so I will probably do some building in real time and the rest I'll montage. Right now I'm trying to find a water cannon. My base is very untidy at the moment. Nothing is organised, so I really need to sort everything out at some point very soon. But I want to get on with building something different today. I'm going to have something to eat, fill up my hunger and thirst bars before I get started, and then see if I can find the bits I need to get on with this. So I've got plenty of pumps, as you can see in here, because I will need a few, I believe, for planting, vacuuming, as in harvesting, sorry. So the pumps can be used multiple ways. They can be used to push items out and to suck items in. They need to be attached to an interactive chest as well to do either of those. They will throw items out that are in the interactive chest, or they'll suck items into the interactive chest. So I couldn't find a water cannon, so I thought I'll craft one. I've already put a piston up already, so this piston will extend the whole width of the farm. I'm going to put a cannon or a pump on here, and that will hopefully extend the width and plant as it goes. I don't know if I'm going to need more than one piston. I'm not entirely sure the width of these pumps. Let's see. I mean, controlling two is going to be harder than controlling one, so hopefully I can get away with just the one. So the pumps will need to be centered so that they are directly over the farming plot as much as possible, and that would mean that they will be centered almost perfectly for the block, the metal block that I've put up in the air. That metal block in the air will be visible to a sensor which will be put above here, and that sensor can trigger the actual planting action. So every time the sensor sees one of those blocks above, it will tell the pump to plant a seed. There's sometimes a slight delay, so even though this is all centered, it might not plant quick enough. If that piston's pushing out too fast, or the whole mechanism is moving too fast, then we might have a bit of an issue. But we'll find that out when we test it. Just want to make sure this is as centered as possible, as in centered in both directions, and then we can get testing on the action of it moving. It looks fairly centered. It's a little bit off, but I believe once that moves, it will be, with a delay, it will be alright. So I need to extend the piston. I'm going to need another controller now. So I want a separate controller to control the pistons that are moving widthwise. And I'm very OCD about placement and how things look. I know you probably can't tell that with some of the things I do, but generally I like things to be placed in the most attractive way they can. So I'll connect this up. So there are a number of steps you can do here. So I'm going to move this one, I think How best? I want it to go. The full extension is 15, so that's the maximum that piston can move. It's a high level piston. I've upgraded it fully, so it can move full 15 blocks, which should be enough to get the piston across the whole width of the plot. But I need it to go all the way across, and then go all the way back, and all the way across, and all the way back as much as possible as we move forwards. I hope this is making some sort of sense. So if I connect this to the button and turn it on, the whole farm should move forward, and that piston should have moved widthwise, but it's not doing that because I think I've put that vacuum pump in the wrong place. I don't think it's correctly attached. Yeah, I don't think that's correctly attached to the piston. So the piston has to have something on the end of it for it to work. As you can see now, I've placed the block on. It's now extended. So I need to make sure that when I put the vacuum pump on, that I put it on in the right place. So even though it's off, it's now kind of reversing all the actions. That's how the controllers work. So they perform actions when you press a button, and when you turn it off, they reverse all those actions. So that everything gets returned to its original state, but it has to go through that entire cycle. So right now, I'm not sure the best thing to do, how to get that vacuum pump placed correctly, lined up, because I need to put interactive chests on the top as well. The interactive chest are chests that contain those portals that you might have seen. Portals? Or ports, sorry. Portals. It's a completely different game. Ports. And each interactive chest has 3 ports, and they can be used as input or output. There's no way of specifying, it's just whatever action you associate to them. So you put the seeds in the chest, and then do I have seeds? Do you know, I don't think I've got any seeds. They're all over at my old base. But what I'll do right now, we get one of the chests on here so you can see what I'm talking about. So this chest, once I can place it in a attractive manner, that'll do. So you can see that port on the top. That's not sure if it being there is going to work, because the pump needs to be connected to the pump. So I need to get the pump placed first. That's looking better. Now I need to get the chest onto the pump, and it usually, when you're attaching it, it will default to trying to attach to the ports. So the 2 ports attached together. So it's at least it's moving widthwise now, but it's a little bit wobbly. So I might need to add a bit of support to it. Something like that should be alright. Still a bit wobbly. I mean, up and down it should be fine now, but maybe I need to stop it wobbling left and right. Let's put when it stops, I'll put another bit of support. Oops. So that should be fine, something like that, just to give it. I mean, I can improve that later, but I think it needs to be stable to at least try and accurately plant. Yep, no seeds on me. Let me just double check, because if not, I'm going to have to go over to my other base and pick up some seeds. This needs to be reorganized. As I've already mentioned, I just don't have the patience. I'll have to take an episode out, I think, and spend some time on this. Right, I'm going to go and get some from the old base, so let's do a little montage, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back with my seeds now. Let's just get ready to... Oh, we've got a visitor. Oh, ouch. I didn't think he'd hit me from there. Let me just go around. Don't attack my wall. Thank you very much. I didn't want to waste any spuds on him then, because there's only one, and the hammer does it's just as easy. Let's chuck this in the refinery. That will turn that into scrap metal. So now I've got some seeds I can plop in here, and then we'll be ready to give this a bit of a test. But I've been thinking, I think what's going to happen is we're just going to plant some seeds sort of diagonally. I think it's all moving a bit too fast, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. And then I might do some configuration offline. But let's see first. You can see what my issue is. So I need a sensor first. Again, wasting so much time looking for things. I just want one sensor for now. At least you get to see all the rubbish I've been collecting. In fact, it's not rubbish at all. It's all very, very useful stuff, I promise. So I've got the sensor. Now this is a high level sensor. It means that it can sense the furthest distance, which isn't important in this case, but the high level sensors can sense a colour. And the reason I went for colour is because, oh dear, is because the blocks I've coloured black so that the grey bars don't interfere with the sensor. So I can set the sensor to look, if I put it, I need to put it underneath, oh hello, alright, bit of wobbly physics. So now I can set the sensor to sense the colour black, and a distance of about 3 should be enough, I think. You just make out there's a little light on the sensor. It shows green when it's sensing something, and it's not green when it doesn't sense something. So that it doesn't just keep firing constantly, I need to use a little bit of logic. By default, logic is set to AND, so whatever things you add to it will be accumulated. Is that the right word? So I want to say, if I get the right, yeah, my connection tool. So the sensor and the switch need to be on, and then I want it to fire a seed, and there you go. Oh, what? It's spinning. Ah, okay, so what I've cleverly done is put that logic right in the way. Hello. I put the logic right in the way of the support beam that I put in. So obviously that stopped the thing from moving and has now caused a bit of a problem. But you saw it, like, it's planted one. I'm not even sure that is tomato, I think. Yeah, look, it's knocked my... There we go. So either I need to move my logic or remove the support beam, but I think the support is important. So let's get the logic somewhere that makes a bit more sense. If it's on the support beam, I'll move with it, but I have to have it the right way round because it bugs me. Thank you. Reconnect it up. So we're saying sensor and the switch need to be on, and then when it is, we can fire that seeds. So let's see what happens now. Yeah, that was my fear. See, that last one missed. Yeah, a lot of them don't seem to be firing. It might be that sensor's not sensing them on a... Well, I think I set it at three blocks distance, and it might be higher over here. It might be more. I know the ground isn't completely flat, so it might be that it's on a slope. Like, yeah, so I might have to increase the sensor's distance. Right, it's finished now, so let's turn it off and then we can try it again. So now we've got to wait for it to reverse its cycle. So as you can see, it's going back and forwards as it retracts, which is the reverse of what we told it to do. And then once it's finished, so I think I need to make the whole mechanism move forwards slower. But I think I've got more than 10 plots, so I'm not sure that this will work. But if I say, so for the first step we don't want it to move, so that means that the piston will extend the full width before we move anywhere. Then the next step we want to move forward three blocks, which should get us to the second row, and then we're going to wait. So the third step we're going to wait on that block, on that row, and the width of the piston should the piston going across the width should retract. Oh, okay, still not quite behaving as we thought, but I mean it's fine. I just need to get this bit right, and then I think we'll be hunky-dory. I mean it's I mean, at least it's planting. It's roughly doing what it's supposed to. It's just the movements between. Yeah, it's a little bit round. I've done something wrong, but you can see that little green light come on when. No, it's not firing at all. Why is it not firing? Oh. Yeah, it seems a bit random. And the trouble is, if it can't multi-plant. So if there's a plant already there and you spit a seed out, you just waste that seed. So right now I'm wasting lots of seeds. It's trying to replant on the same area. And that unauthorized farming detected message, which you may have not seen before. I don't think we've had any raids yet. That means that the bots have detected I'm planting, and I've planted more than I'm allowed to plant. So more than nine planted plots is unauthorized. So I would need to defend this now. So at midnight, some robots will come and try and destroy my farm, which is why I have that metal fence across the front, and why I've come over here so there's water to my left and right to just kind of prevent the bots from attacking me from other angles. But that isn't really a concern until midnight, so I can carry on for now. I want to go and water these plots, but as I haven't set up the automatic watering system yet, I'm going to do it by hand, as I've got buckets of water already. And simply just throw the water on them like that. If you do it right, you can get more than one plot watered at the same time, but I'm not doing it right. There you go, see, I've got a few more that time. Otherwise, it takes ages. Alright, so you can jump in the water and just refill them up. This might give you a demonstration of why I want to automate this. And the reason I'm planting them is rather than just destroying them and trying again, is I don't really want to waste any more of my seeds, and that might as well, while they're planted, grow them. I can then test my base a bit for when the robots come, just see where they come from and how good my wall is. Is it going to stop the robots from coming in? And generally what happens is, depending on how many you plant, there are three raid levels. So the first night you'll get a few robots depending on what you've planted and how much you've planted. The second night, assuming you haven't harvested everything, the second night more robots will come, and then the third night even more, and they could come from anywhere around here. So I need to, at midnight, I'll need to keep my eye out. But after tonight, if everything's grown and I harvest everything, think it's before 4:30 in the morning. If you harvest everything, then you're okay. But at 4:30, they will check again to see if I'm doing any unauthorized farming, and if I am, they will again schedule a raid. Once a raid's scheduled, they're going to come regardless. So even if I destroyed all this now or harvested it, they're still going to come because they've scheduled a raid. So I could get rid of this farm, I could move, but they'd still turn up here to try and destroy the farm because they discovered there was one here. I hope that makes sense. I know I'm rambling, but I got a bit of time to kill before they come. So I think what I'll do now is I'll wait for them to come, and I'll bring you back just before the robots arrive, and you can see what happens. Okay, so we're 5 seconds away from a raid. As you can see the timer there, so they should now all start coming in. There you go. We've got the little greenies from the left, a few greenies from the right. Greenies. These are called tote bots. There's, yeah, one over there. So not many. Should be fairly easy to sort out. Oh, my vehicle's in the water again. And there's one over there, stuck over there, but I'm not worried about him. See? Oh, I might as well get him while I'm coming over here. He's stuck. Stuck on the corn. Yeah. That's weird, why my vehicles keep falling into the water. Yeah, anyway, let me do some tidying up, and I'll bring you back when I've got something to show you. So it's been another day. I've done a few things which I'll show you while I was waiting for these crops to grow. I've done a bit of tidying up. I've expanded the base a little bit by adding some more wood over there as well. So I've been using some of this wood that we collected here. Got a bit left. There's still a bit more I can do, but it does go very quick. You wouldn't believe it. But look how tidy it is now. I've made this a bit wider. I've put all of my chests up here, and there is some sort of order to them, so I've tried to kind of keep certain items together, but I've got a long way to go yet. There's still a bit mixed up. And then I've got over here, I've got other chests. These are smaller chests, which I use more to keep things that I'm not regularly needing, but again, still mixed. I've got bits here, bits over to the other chests, but there's a little bit more order, so things should be a bit easier to find. I will spray paint them, so there'll be a bit more order. And a nice little chair that I can sit on right on the edge of the water there. I've moved my refinery up there, so anything that gets refined, it's joined to these chests, and now it gets put in the chests. All of these chests are joined together, so whatever's in one can be seen by all the other chests. So what that means is that as they're all joined, is that if I want to craft something, the craft bot is connected with tubes to them. It can use any resource from any chest it needs. So the craft bot on my right here can see anything in any of these chests. So if I place metal in a chest, then they will output whatever I craft to that chest there. So I want to refine some wood, craft some wood. It pulls in the resources from those chests and outputs it. Oh, if I click on the right thing, it outputs it here. Now, I did have one problem. There was another raid, and I wasn't paying attention. And little tote bot came in, and he destroyed all my crops that were here before I got to him. So, yeah, that was good. He came across the water from there, so I need to firm up my defences. Maybe extend some sort of fence along there. I need to go under the sea as well. I think I don't know if they can get. I don't know how well they swim, but it it would be better if I could prevent anything from coming across. So I think one of the things I'm going to need to work on before I do two bigger crops is having defences along this fence, something that will kind of pick off the robots without me having to do it all manually. I know it sounds like I want everything automated, but trust me, it really does help. So I didn't get a chance to make any more changes to this, so I'll probably work on this offline, but I need to make improvements to this, and I think I've been going along enough today. Maybe I'll get a video out tomorrow with more updates on this if anyone's interested. But if you've got any suggestions while I rip this apart and start again, please leave some comments. Hit that like button if you like this video. Of course, hit the dislike if you didn't like it, but I wonder why you're watching it if you didn't like it. And obviously hit that subscribe button and the little bell to get notified of future videos coming up. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to work on this, and I'll see you next time. Take care.